everybody, it's Tatiana and it is wrap-up time. This is going to be my December wrap-up. I apologize that it's a little late, but as you can probably tell, I am still not home yet. So it's taking me, I'm recording this while I'm away, but I'm not going to upload it until I get home, and that is going to take time because I have quite a few to record, to edit, and upload once I get home. So this is my December wrap-up. You might be seeing this in the middle of January. My bad. For the month of December, I read, I think, 4 books. I don't have them with me, but I have my list based on my Goodreads bookshelf. Good news, I did make my goal of 38 books. There was a snafu in my Goodreads bookshelf where, because I did not put the books, some of the books that I read this year on the bookshelf until after I finished them, even though I included them on my 2013 read bookshelf, it did not count those books as being read in or towards my challenge goal for 2013. So that is interesting. I don't know how that happened, but I met my goal and I beat it by 1. Hot damn, go me, which is really good since my goal for 2014 is 75 books. For the month of December, I read One in a Million by Kimberly Lawson Roby, and I borrowed that from the library in audiobook form. I am probably going to have to reread that for myself because based on the audiobook, I really didn't like it. And I tend to like Kimberly Lawson Roby's writing. And so I'm pretty sure that the reason why I did not like the story has more to do with the person who read the audiobook than the story itself. But oh my gosh, it was painful. I can't describe it. It was super articulated. Every single last word was articulated, and in her doing that, it did not sound like a regular conversation when people were talking in the book. When somebody was upset and their thoughts were being expressed, it seemed very stilted, unemotional. It just wasn't good. This probably was the worst audiobook experience I have had, which irritates me because it was not just an African American novelist, but it was an African American narrator or reader, and she did a piss poor job for someone who I think is an awesome writer. So I'm going to have to read One in a Million again for myself just so that I can read it as it goes. I found myself doing a lot of backtracking as the narrator was reading, or as the reader was reading. What the fuck do you call it in an audiobook? But as the reader was reading, she would say something and I would know that after she continued with the statement or continued with the paragraph, I would know that how she read it was wrong. So I would have to go back in my mind and say whatever she said in my mind with the correct intonation, the correct expression, as opposed to just hearing. It really just sounded a lot of times like she was just reading word for word for word. It was really, really, really bad, and I wish I could remember the name of the person who read it, and I hope to God that if she's still doing audiobooks, she's gotten better. The fact that this reading has been put out for other people to purchase, for other people to put their money in to read it, and this is what they get, it was painstakingly really, really bad. So, yeah, but anyway. One in a Million by Kimberly Lawson Roby, Dark Lichen by Christine Feehan, and Sundays at Tiffany's by James Patterson and Gabrielle Yeah, I'm gonna mess that up again. I have a review for those two that I am posting that either will go up before or after this video. I don't know. And Dark Storm by Christine Feehan, and I did reread A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. I didn't put that on the list because it was a reread and it's something that I really used to read every year. So yeah, I made it. I thought I needed to read 8 books, but because of the snafu in My bookshelf, I only needed to read 4, and I ended up reading 5. So go me. That is, I feel good. I feel good. For January, I am presently reading in audiobook form The Wolf Gift by Anne Rice, and next week, Dark Wolf by Christine Feehan comes out, which I have been really looking forward to. That's one of the few books that I am really anticipating the release of in 2014, outside of The City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare. So yeah, I'm going to borrow Dark Wolf. I've only bought 3 books in the Christine Feehan Carpathian series because they were not available at the library. There's just too many books to have on my shelf. I have 1 on my shelf and 2 on my Kindle. But I'm going to borrow Dark Wolf from the library when it comes out, and I really am so excited to read it because one of the characters in it she's talked about a lot since she became part of the story, and I just can't wait to see how everything unfolds for her. So yeah, that is my December wrap up and pretty much my January TBR. I know I will be reading more books in January because I have 75 books to read this year, so I can't have a month where I just read 2. So yeah, but that's it. Oh, and I also have the Secret Obsession on audiobook, and I have 6 by Sherilyn Kenyon. And Secret Obsession is Kimberly Lawson Roby again, and 6 is Sherilyn Kenyon. And that book is absolutely it's gargantuan. It's like this thick. It's huge. So those will probably be the rest of my reading for January. So yeah, that is it. I hope you all have a good weekend, whenever you see this video. Peace out.